This is 2024 Mathematics ICSE Board paper. I have already uploaded the solutions of section A, MCQs. So that was for 15 marks, which is already uploaded. You will see the link somewhere here. And now we have 25 marks remaining, which will be distributed in question 2 and question 3. Question 2 is going to be for 12 marks and question 3 is going to be for 13 marks. So we will have 1, 2, 3 questions of 4 marks each, and here it is going to be 3 questions of 4, 4 and 5 marks. So let us look at our question 2. First question is matrices. For 4 marks, you have to find out the value of x and y if A into B, that is this matrix into this matrix, is equal to matrix C. Now normally I would have solved it over here, but this once I said that I will show you how the presentation of the work will be in the paper. So I have written as you should be writing, and if you have already finished appearing for the exams, then you check whether you are losing marks because of any statement or any reason. And if you are going to look at this paper for future reference, like let us say you are in 9th standard or 8th standard right now, then 10th standard will expect that type of work. Since I have had experience of being an ICSE examiner myself, I know how the marking scheme is. So let us look at our presentation of work. So we will write A into B like this equal to C. This is given to us. This is a 2 by 2 matrix and this also is a 2 by 2 matrix. So the product also will be 2 by 2 matrix. So we are going to now multiply this way. So x into 4 plus 0 into y, and here it will be x into 0 and 0 into 1. You have to go horizontal and go vertical. Okay, this way. Now for the second row, we will take second row here, and from horizontal we'll go vertical, 1 into 4, 1 into y. Then this way and this way, 1 into 0, 1 into 1. And this we copy as it is. Simplifying this becomes 4x plus 0, and here it becomes 0 plus 0 means 0. This is 4 plus y, and this is 0 plus 1. Now since the matrices are equal, the corresponding elements are equal, so we equate the corresponding elements saying 4x is equal to 4 and 4 plus y is equal to x. So we get two equations. This will solve and we'll get x equal to 1. And this we will solve and we'll get y equal to minus 3. And then we write this as answer statement. Now multiplying this properly, this will be our first mark. Then writing the value will be the second mark. So getting this x value properly is 1 mark, and y value properly here, that is your 1 mark. So that is how we will have 4 marks given to us, and we write the answer statement like this. Now if you don't write the answer statement, chances are that the examiner can cut your 1 mark. This was your question 2 first part. Now we come to question 2 second part. This is also for 4 marks. A solid metallic cylinder is cut into 2 identical halves along with its height as shown in the diagram this way. Imagine you have a knife and you're just cutting a piece of cheese like this or paneer. The diameter of the circle is 7. So from here to here this is 7. So the radius is going to be half of it, which means 7 upon 2. The height from here to here is 10 centimeters. Find the total surface area of both the halves together. So the surface area of this and this. So surface area is going to be, first of all, the lateral surface area this way, and again going back that way. That will be the CSA, and this will be the flat surface here, and below here will be the flat surface. So this will be the base and this will be the base. So same way here, there is the base here and base here, and sideways we have to go this way and come like this, which I'm going to term as CSA. Okay. You can also take from here to here CSA, and this will be a rectangle, and add it. But I found that this would have been quicker way, as there are many steps for this solution. So it's better to take the full CSA like this, which means the perimeter from here to here, perimeter like this of the cross section multiplied by the height, and that will give us the CSA of each half. Then B part, the total cost of painting the two halves at the rate of rupees 30 per centimeter square, take pi as 22/7. Let's look at the presentation. For a question like this, it's better always to draw the diagram. It could be a rough diagram, it doesn't have to be exactly accurate. I have drawn it freehand. And I've written diameter is 7 centimeter. Radius is this upon 2, means 7/2. No need to write 3.5. It makes the calculations lengthier. Height from here to here, this is 10 centimeter. Now we show one half of it. So we have the radius from here to here, that is 7.5. From here to here, this is the height. And this is the diameter, which is 7 centimeter. I have written what we have to find out here in short, and then we tackle A part for the CSA of each half. It will be, as I explained earlier, perimeter of the cross section multiplied by the height. So I have written here perimeter of cross section, which is diameter, that is this portion, plus this part of the circumference, means half the circumference, multiplied by this 10, which is the height. Then we substitute the values, cancel this 2 and 2, then it becomes 7 plus 22/7 into r, that is 7/2. We have 2 1s and 2 goes 11s. This 7 and this 7 will get cancelled, and we have 11 plus 7, that is 18 multiplied by 10. So that is 180 centimeter square. So this will be our first mark. So CSA of two halves, that is curved surface area, will be 180 into 2, that is 360. Then the base of two halves, area of base, this and this. This will be for the first half, and for the other half exactly the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for the second half. There are 4 into area of this is a semicircle. Got that? So 4 into half pi r square will be area of semicircle. Substitute the values, 4 into half into 22/7 into 7/2 into 7/2, and look at the cancellation. 2 1s and 2 2s, 2 1s and this 2 goes, and this 2 and this 2 11s. So you have in the numerator 11 into 7, that is 77 centimeter square, which means the total surface area of the two halves is 180 plus 77. Okay, so your A part is going to be for 3 marks basically. Let's look at the marking. This could be 1 mark, this could be 1 mark. Then we have this 1 mark, so that is 3 marks, and this will be the 4th mark. Okay, So we added CSA 180 plus 77, 0 and 7, 7, 7, 8, 15, carry 1 and 257 centimeters square is the total surface area. And then the total cost of painting the halves at this rate will be rate multiplied by quantity. It's a simple mathematics. Multiply 30 into 257 and that will be 0 here. 3 sevens 21, carry 2, 3 fives 15 and 2 17, carry 1, 3 twos 6 and 1 7, and this is our answer. Now check out for yourself which statements were missing and do you think the examiner will cut your mark? Give yourself marks accordingly. This was a 4-mark question. Question 2, the third part, this again is for 4 marks. As I told you, question 2 is totally for 12 marks. This is given as a geometrical progression. A asks us to find the nth term of this GP in terms of n, and B, how many terms of the above GP will give the sum of 945. As you can see, the GP is generally represented as A, then AR, then AR square, then AR cube, comma dot dot dot. Correct? So our first term A1 will be A, which is 15, and your common difference is going to be A2 upon A1, that is 30 upon 15, which is 2. Then we use the formula for nth term and then we continue with the presentation along with the marking. Here it will be 2 marks per subpart. So A will be for 2 marks and B will be for 2 marks. When we write the solution in the paper, we must write the GP the way it is given and also write what they are asking us to find the way we read it. Then we will write the first term is A, which is 15. We write that. And the common ratio, which is represented by small r, will be A2 upon A1. That is 30 upon 15, which is equal to 2. The nth term is going to be an, which is ar to the power n minus 1. Now a is 15 multiplied by 2 to the power n minus 1. And that would be our answer. We cannot simplify this anymore. Okay, so you will probably get 1 mark here and 1 mark here, and then B part will be for finding the number of terms. For the summation formula, whether R is greater than 1 or less than 1, that is important. So R is equal to 2, which means it's greater than 1. So Sn becomes A to the power, so Sn becomes A into bracket R to the power n minus 1 upon R minus 1. If your R was less than 1, then we would have had A into bracket 1 minus R to the power n upon 1 minus R. Now we substitute. The sum was given as 945. A value we already found out as 15 into bracket 2 to the power n minus 1, since R value is 2. And R minus 1 becomes 2 upon 2 minus 1, which is 1. Now that 1 multiplies here, so it is 945. 15 into this as it is, the numerator. Then we transfer 15 at that side. So it will become 15 ones and 15 sixes 90, remain 4 and 15 threes. Then this 63 we write and transfer this one that side. So you'll have 2 to the power n remaining on the right side, which is equal to 64. We must have power of 2 this side. So we convert this 64 as power of 2. 2 to the power 6 is 64. Then we will say that we will equate the exponents because the bases are same. So n is equal to 6. What is n? The number of terms, and that is 6, and that is our answer. So here substitution of the formula, and up to this part will be 1 mark, and then to get this and write, that will be another mark up to the statement. If you don't write the statement, chances are your examiner can cut your 1 mark. Question 3, first subpart. Factorize sine cube theta plus cos cube theta equal to 4. Now, as you can see in section 1 itself, this question 2, second part was the application type of question, which must have been a little mind-blowing for some of the children. And maybe some children may lose the marks here and also for here, but not if you know a cube plus b cube identity. So we use that identity to factorize this, and then we prove this identity. So we'll first factorize, then we'll write LHS equal to this. We'll solve it to get RHS equal to 1. This again was a 2-mark question. First part asked us to factorize. So we use a cube plus b cube equal to a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square. And we will factorize it saying sine theta plus cos theta, from here taking the cube roots. Once we get this, square this to get sine square theta, minus multiply these two, so minus sine theta cos theta, and plus square of this, so that is plus cos square theta. And so we got that as 1 mark. Now LHS we copy the way it is. Then numerator is exactly this. So we substitute the value here, sine theta plus cos theta, and this bracket as sine square theta minus sine theta cos theta plus cos square theta. That upon sine theta plus cos theta, and plus sine theta cos theta here. This entire bracket gets cancelled, and we will be left with this and this. So we write this here, and this we write here. So that will be our 1 mark. The cancellation step will be 1 mark. And then here this sine theta cos theta term gets cancelled, and sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. That becomes another mark, and we say that is equal to RHS and hence rule. Now if you do not write this step, chances are your teacher will cut this mark for you. Alright, so let us go to question 3 second part. Question 3 second part. In the given diagram, O is the center of the circle. So we look at this O. PR and PT are 2 tangents drawn from the external point P. So from P we have these 2 tangents from external point, and they are touching the circle at Q and S respectively. Mn is the diameter of the circle, and given that PQM is 42, that is this, and PSM angle equal to 25, that is this, we have to find OQM angle, QSN angle, QOS angle, QMS. Now it's a 4-mark question. For each one of these we will be given 1 mark. So even something is missing over here, your teacher can just slash your mark. Let us look at the solution. Point number 1 you have to remember is to draw the diagram the way it is given. As you can see, I have drawn the diagram here, and on the right I have written what is given and what is to be found. As I told you, it's a 4-mark question. So each one of these will be given 1 mark. To begin with, in the diagram, you mark the angles. Now OQM, your OQM is this angle, so we'll mark that as A. QNS is B, so QNS I marked here as B. QOS is this one which I marked as C, and QMS is this which I marked as D. In order to solve this, we need to have the facts in front of us. So we first write that PS, PQ, they are the tangents. And can you see over here, these are the radii which are given. So OQP is going to be 90 degrees, and the reason is OQ is perpendicular to PR or PQ, since radius at the point of contact is perpendicular to the tangent. See, I have written that here. So 42 plus A means 42 plus OQM is equal to 90 degrees. When you are thinking out aloud, you say that this is 90 degrees here, this is 90 degrees here, so A and 42 together, so A plus 42 is equal to 90 degrees. And so your A will be equal to 90 minus 42, which is 58. But when we write it like this. Okay, so 58 degrees is answer 1. So that gives you your first mark. Now for the second one, QNS, since I'll have to keep shuffling from the diagram to here, I'll just explain it to you in the diagram, and then you can look at the way it has to be presented. This B is made of this angle and this angle, and this angle over here is made by QN chord and PQ tangent. So this angle and this angle, they are going to be 42 degrees here, and this angle over here is going to be equal to this angle here, that is 25 degrees. Okay, so angle B is going to be 62 degrees plus 25 degrees, that will be 67 degrees. So that will be our QNS. Now if I want QOS, this angle has been subtended at the center by this arc. This arc makes this angle at the circumference. The actual word is the arc here, QMS, subtends angle QNS at the rest of the circumference. But for simplicity, we'll say angle at the center here will be twice angle at the circumference here. So this is going to be 2 into 67 degrees, which is going to be 2 7s 14, carry 1 2 6s 12 and 1 13. So this angle is going to be your 134 degrees. QMS is the last angle. For QMS, you will connect this angle with this angle because it will be the simplest way of doing it. This is 67 and D, they are going to be equal to 180 degrees, and so D is going to be 180 minus 67. Okay, so that will be 113. So you see, it was pretty easy to get those full 4 marks, although the diagram was a little complicated, but if you know your facts well and you keep your calm, you will be able to do this, and I'm sure you must have got this also right. And let us see the presentation. As you can see, alternate segment theorem, I have written the statement, and then these two added, so this and this is this. So these two, if you look at the diagram, QNS is MNQ and MNS. See there? And that is because of the diagram. Then we come to the last one. Angle at the center is twice angle at the circumference. So we have each one of these answers giving us 1 mark. If we do not write some of the statements, your examiner can cut your marks. All right, so it was very simple to get up to here the marks. Like I told you, my students said that the paper was pretty easy, although it was a little lengthy for them. We now come to the last question of section A. As you can see, section B, we start here. So this question is for 5 marks, making question 3 for 13 marks. Okay, question 2 was for 12 marks. So that is total 25 marks. And the MCQs were another 15. That is how we had 40 marks total for section A. This is a graph question, so you will be supplied with the graph where 2 centimeter had to be taken as 1 unit, and you will be supplied with 2 mm graph paper. You had to plot A, B and C and then reflect point B and C in y-axis and name their images at B dash, C dash. So you can see I have written the scale on both axes here. 2 centimeter equal to 1 unit. Yeah. And I have drawn x-axis, y-axis and taken 2 centimeters equal to 1 unit on y-axis also and x-axis also. Okay. The first point that we had to plot was A, which is 0,3. So 0,3 lies on y-axis. So on y-axis 3 units, this is our A. B was 2,1. So on x-axis we go up 2 and y-axis we come here 1. So B is 2,1. And C was 4, minus 1. So from 4 we come along the vertical line downwards to come up to minus 1, and this is a 4, minus 1, that is point C. They told us to reflect B and C in y-axis. So this was from here to here 2 units, from here to here 2 units to give us B dash. And they asked us to write the coordinates, so B dash is this. C is reflected in y-axis. There are 4 units here. So if this is 4, we go to minus 4 up to here. This is your C dash. This will be minus 4, minus 1. And we had to write that also. Now this you can write on the line side of your paper. And this graph sheet you can insert between the pages. You can put it between the 2 pages of the answer sheet, or you could attach it at the back of the answer sheet. But make sure that you write this is your question 3, third part. Question number must be mentioned there. I would prefer you keeping the page in between. Okay, so that way also is doable. Let us look at the next part. Now they say reflect point A in line BB dash and name the image as A dash. Write the coordinates of A dash. So we join BB dash line and A is to be reflected in that from here to here 2 units. We go from here to here 2 units and we mark that as A dash. And we write the coordinates of A dash. It is 0, minus 1 because it is lying on y-axis. And lastly, they ask us to join A, B, A dash, B dash and give the geometrical name of the closed figure so formed. We join then what they told us to join, and now you will see that the figure so formed, it may look like a diamond to you, but if you look at the diagonals, can you see the diagonals are 2 units here, 2 units here, 2 units here, 2 units here. The diagonals are equal and the diagonals are bisected at right angles. That makes it a square. We cannot say it's a rhombus. For rhombus, it is all sides equal, parallelogram, diagonals are unequal. The rhombus which will have two diagonals equal becomes a square. Okay, so this A dash B dash is a square. Now 1, 2, 3 things they asked you to write, so that is going to give you 3 marks here, and for plotting these things they are going to give you 2 marks. Sometimes the marking scheme depends upon the examiner. They may give you 3 marks here to write and plot the points the way it is, maybe half mark each or something like that. But they may give you half mark, they may not give you half mark. Here, this will be for half mark each and they can keep that for 2 marks. But if any one of them is missing over here or wrong, that mark will go. So that is how the marking scheme is pretty strict. So you need to be careful not to make any silly mistake. Out of fear and nervousness during the exam, maximum mistakes are because of fear. So we have finished with our section 1. Now you are going to write in the comment box whether you got full 40 on 40 in this section A, because I'm going to start with the recording of video for section B. In the next video it will be seen how section B will be having calculations of marks. Alright, till then, be sincere with your next paper, be dedicated to your work, solve as many papers, questions for your revisions as possible, and all the best for your exams. Bye.